My name is Robert, and today I'm going to show you how to host your static websites, your HTML, JavaScript client-side files very cheaply on Azure. So what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be using their storage accounts, and they have a really nice feature called static websites. So go ahead and go over to the Azure portal, and as you can see, I've got the dark theme, so super cool. Click the storage accounts. And as you can see, I've got some storage accounts already set up, but we're going to create a new one. And like it's this thing, I'm telling you, like when I'm just putting up websites or like, it is so cheap to run these. Create new. Let's see, what are we going to call this thing? A static web. Cool. That is for our resource group. Then this storage account name. Static Web 3, that's cool. Review and create. And create this. Okay, so I want to show you first, just quickly, documentation. Azure documentation for the static websites. So I'm going to leave a link to this in the description. It's really, really simple. But basically, you're going to have your storage account. You're going to enable this feature, static websites. And inside of your storage account, it's going to add a folder, which is going to associate that folder to an actual URL of the website. So we're going to go to our storage account. And if you're not familiar with storage accounts, really quickly, we can come over here to the Storage Explorer. And we can actually see like blobs is like how you store like blobs, files, queues, and tables. That's hilarious. Basically, like your blobs, this is actually where our website's going to go. Any type of file. So over here, we're going to scroll down, static website, enable. Our default document is going to be index.html. And here you can see now we have a primary endpoint and a secondary endpoint, and basically these, if we're gonna paste these into our browser, the content. So we're getting a 404, and what this URL is actually pointing to is a folder directory in your storage accounts. And what we can do now is we can go back to our Storage Explorer. And we can see now we have a $web container. And this is actually where this is pointing. And if you remember, that index.html was that file, actually. So to prove this out, we're just going to create a quick index.html file. Save as. Save it. HTML5, and then we'll say like hello from Azure. And actually I want to put this on my desktop. Index HTML, upload, select a file, index HTML, upload this guy. Okay, so now we can see inside of our blob container, $web, we have an index HTML file. Come over here. Boom, hello from Azure. So now this basically, you can host your Angular apps, your progressive web apps, your React apps, any kind of static. You can host, images, because what you can do next is if you want to like have this route instead of this long nasty domain like www.yourdomain.com, you need to create a CDN in front of this, which is also very, very cheap and very easy to do. So in the next video, I want to keep these kind of short, at least for the quick how to do something really awesome, like host this for cheap, host a website for cheap. The next video, we'll probably put a CDN in front of it. But yeah, this is like if you're developing something, it's very cheap to run these. And then you can even use Azure CLI to dynamically, from a command line to publish folders to this, your actual container, your local folders, or anywhere. And then what that allows you to do is CI/CD pipeline. So another important thing that is for just getting something up and running. This is awesome, but ideally, what you'd want to have happen is like this index.html file or this website would be hosted in GitHub or some code repository, and anytime that you merged master branch or develop branch, whatever, depending on the environment, but anytime basically you merged your branch, you would have an automated way of updating your website. So yeah, I think the next couple of videos I want to do is how to set up like that pipeline, and then also how to get that CDN working. So if you're excited about learning how to host websites on Azure for cheap, building enterprise grade web applications, any kind of stuff like that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned.